All right, hello everyone. So let's take a look at the market today. So yesterday was all nice and juicy. Remember, yesterday was a swing day for gold, right? It was Wednesday. We had a swing day for gold. Also, SP 500 Tuesday, Wednesday. All right, and then we had Tuesday and Wednesday for Nasdaq as well. And today's Thursday. Thursday's a swing day for Dow Jones. All right. So let's see how we're going now. So gold, remember, we were long on gold on Monday. Tuesday, we didn't do anything on gold. Wednesday, pullback, we were in. We went up, took profit, moved stop loss up, managed the trade. I did a short video. I said I've got nothing to do until 4 o'clock. Market was here at 4 o'clock, so I actually adjusted the stop losses, moved it to above break even. So there was already one position that took profit. The other one got stopped out with a little bit of profit, which was fine. And then that went down, broke down, giving us a bearish signal, which is fine. Now we're pushing up into the swing hours. We've got news coming out today. So today, we've got hours. Today's Thursday, so we've got hours, which I've already posted at 6:45. Okay, as you can see here. All right, so the retracement should pull us back a little bit, at least into the 50 zone here, which we're pretty close at the moment. And these are the swing hours, right? So at the highs, we would like to sell again to follow that move. During the day, we might have an A, B, C, or we might just go sideways, hit up, and then push down. If we take a look at the daily, that's a sell-off. Now remember, with the gold, I said we could also break up, okay, because we're like pushing upwards here, but we're at the top of the channel. So my second position yesterday on gold, it didn't take profit, okay, because the take profit level was up there, because I was going according to that, and therefore I had a higher take profit target. But that didn't eventuate, which is not a problem, okay, because it was a swing day. It was bound to be a high sooner or later somewhere, and the market took that exactly at the swing hours here, nice and easy. Okay, so going down. So following it down, I think is okay. This should lead us to at least 2,432. So it should bring us back into that zone, if not lower. Okay, what would we like to do with gold? We'd like to play it down, maybe bring it back down into this zone. This is the channel, as you can see. There. So where would we like to come back down to? Okay, we could do this. Okay, possibly, or the lower end of the channel is that one with a gap, a small one, nevertheless, a gap. So pulling it back into this zone is also okay by me. Okay, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, because we're day traders, or we're only keeping a position for like a few days max. So we'll see how that pans out. Okay, but let's draw that anyway, because if it does come here, we want to be ready for it. Okay, I want to be ready for it, and want to make sure we're on top of our game. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of this so I can see that clearly. Oops. There. There. All right, so yeah, coming back into this zone here and here, or in between, I don't mind going for it. Okay, so we could come back down, which is fine. It looks like it's swept stops, so on the pull up, selling again is okay. The low of that bar is 2458, which is your 50% right there. Okay, so just above the 50%, well, the 50% to the 35.5. As you know, I use Gann levels, not Fibonacci. So going into those zones, I think, is okay for a sell-off. All right. So that's that. I tell you what hours are good today. This 8 o'clock is good. 8:50 to 9:05 is good. 9:50 is where maybe the change will start to move in. So the market might come to a place at 9 o'clock, but it might start to change after 9:50, which can bring us into 12 o'clock, or, well, 12 o'clock is a level, but 12:40, 12:50 zone is going to be another zone. After the news, well, with the news, we're going to have a sudden move, that's for sure. And that sudden move should take us to 340 and possibly into 445. Once we get to 445, that's a zone which we might take a turnaround at. And if that's the case, that should give us a direction which should go all the way to 11 o'clock. Okay, so pretty much there. One other thing you need to be mindful of is 8 o'clock, 7:50, because 7:50 can also be a place where the market can change, right? If that does happen, it'll go all the way into closing. So that might actually also be a retracement, right? So we might make a move until 445, market might come into 8 o'clock and then go back again in the direction of the impulse wave. So that should be your kind of setup for all the things you have. Okay, right, I hope that's kind of working out for you in that manner. Now then, let's take a look at euro dollar. All right, so market's up. If we're up during the news at the swing hours, I don't mind selling. We should at least come to the low of yesterday, bounce up probably, and then fall further into 2,432, possibly all the way down into the weekly. Remember, our next swing is Friday. Okay, so then we might push all the way into Friday if we sell on the retracement of the impulse of a Wednesday, pushing it into Friday. Let's take a look at the euro dollar. Now, euro dollar, I had an entry last night as well, yesterday, because the market was there, and I said, okay, this is good to get in as well. Why? Because remember, I said on Monday when I was doing the video, I said, look, we're in the middle of nowhere. Okay, this is a high, this is a low. If it comes down, we'd like to buy. If it goes up, we'd like to sell. So Monday, Tuesday being swing days, they just shot up. And on Wednesday, it went right into that zone I'd drawn out before, and I showed you on Monday. And then when the market got there, it was a swing hour. So I said, get in. And that's the getting in. All right, so we just dived in. Now this trade already covered itself, so we're all good. We've got profit off the table. Stop loss is really tight, so not much to talk about. Okay, I've got the second trade target all the way down into the weekly, but let's see what we can do. Now, if the market starts to push down, we could find ourselves around 60 PST, which is 1.09. I think that's 63. Yeah. 0963 is there. Okay. Now this is going to be a support level. Okay, 0963. This is going to be a support. We've marked that in before. No big deal. Okay, so if the market does come down here, yes. Here there's a bit of a gap. Okay, if the market keeps pushing, it can come further down. On the weekly, the goodbye kiss level here is 60, 1.0943. So I might need to adjust that at least up a little bit. Okay, into 4.3 maybe, just whoops. Okay, I'll do that later on, we've got time anyway. Okay, so now what? If you take a look at this, this was the swing from the news. Now look, if I make this a little bigger, the low of that bar is 1003, 1.10039. So let me just do that. 1.10 1.10039. There. You can see the market did not, let me just see, it did not close under it. Okay, so that is still a question mark. Okay, so we've got to manage the trade here. The market can pull up again and in the news and can still go higher. We don't know. This is why the trade is covered. We're safe. We can just see how things pan out today. On the euro dollar though, if it sells down, this is what we'd like to see. Then, I'd like to see it back down, closing the gaps all the way back down here so we can buy. Okay. Obviously, if it does decide to do that, it'll wave down, not crash down unless we have something crazy like this. Okay. But at the end of the day, that was a good pump up. So having a pump down a little bit is not a bad idea, and that might happen today with the news. And swing days on the euro dollar is also Friday. So if they do decide to push down today, then tomorrow we might have a decent level that might bring us back down here, as you can see. Okay, so we'll see how that pans out. So if during the swing hours, if the market breaks down below this swing and hopefully below that and closes below there, then a push up is definitely a sell opportunity. The other thing is this: the market sold pretty quickly from here, which means that all the buyers who bought around here, they got trapped out. Okay, so there are a lot of positions up there that are now locked in, and the market is now going to be teasing them, which means it's going to screw them over. Okay, so what we might see is the market not going up at all, mucking around here and just pushing further down. Okay, so that's also an option. So in any case though, if you entered that trade, then cover it. Now with the indices this week, I've done nothing with these. Why? Because we've got a PST breakout, so I'm not in the mood to be selling it. Now we did have with the indices swing days for SP 500 Tuesday, Wednesday. So you can see on Tuesday it just shot up. Okay, Wednesday it's up. Today's a swing day for the Dow Jones, and that's basically it. So we are still on the edge. As you can see, the market has moved into that blue bar where the market crashed before, so they'll be looking to sell as well, and that's your channel there, as you can see. Okay, so selling is also a bit logical here. If I take a look at the 15-minute chart, you see the market is just nuts. Okay, it's just going crazy. Okay, but at the end of the day, don't stand in front of it. And I did say, this is a PST breakout. Once it breaks out, I'm not going to be selling that until we have a better setup, and I don't see that setup at the moment. So indices, I did nothing on this week, just gold, euro, dollar. Okay, so I recommend you might want to wait a little bit. If you're long with the PST breakout, well done. Okay, because some of you are using the 80 AM strategy. Once you see a breakout, it's good. Okay, and going up is okay, right? So if you did that, well done. No dramas. I've got nothing to do here. Just be wary if you're long. Definitely, if you've learned technical analysis from me, you would have covered the trade. You would have managed your trade by now, so you should all be, happy and honky-dory. All right, and then you can wait for your setup. Today, Thursday, is a reversal day, well, not a reversal day, but swing day for Dow Jones. And like I said, that can also happen obviously in the New York session. We'd be looking at that too. All right, so the New York session, there. All right, now remember I drew that line yesterday, I drew this yesterday, so these are all good, and this level also good. There's a bit of room up there as well because of the gap, okay, and that's also good. So the PST still has targets there. So getting up into that 60 is still doable, which is 4,415, and that's not a bad spot. Okay, 4,415 is not a bad spot. So the market can probably get up there. If it does, match it to your swing hours and then trade it off, because at the end of the day, that's your impulse and that's your A, B, C kind of thing. And from the C, pushing back down, coming at least down here and breaking lower is an option. Okay. Let's take a look at NASDAQ. Indices are going together, so same kind of thing. Okay, this is the setup. I drew that before. That's a big bar, so you just have to wait. If you're using your ATAM strategy, these are your lines. Your breakout has a target up there. So obviously, you know, we're not standing in front of it, but at the end of the day, okay, that's how it is. Okay, so the market does have room to still go up, at least into that white dotted line that I've drawn into there. Okay, that's a good buy kiss on the PST. And that's it. Not much to talk about. If the market comes back up here, okay, it might do a stop sweep. If it does, and if it matches your PST target levels, that's your, you know, match the hour and sell time. Now let's take a look at Bitcoin. Now with Bitcoin yesterday, I did say that we've got two possibilities here, right? This is the impulse wave. Then we've got an A, B, C, and it should have come up a little bit. It still hit the target on the PST, if you can see that. Okay, but I would not have sold there, obviously. Why? Because that's your impulse from the downside, and then you've got a flag formation here, which broke above that line. So I would not have sold here. This is why I said sell here. They sold on the first PST target right there and right there, as you can see, but that would not have been my choice, that's for sure. Okay, the market has closed gaps though. Okay, so this would not have been my setup anyway. It has done 37.5. Okay, so on the one hand, it's done a good retracement. On the other hand, though, A, B, you know, we're still not out of the woods if you've sold and you're keeping a position. So make sure you covered your trade if you did sell. But that is not my ideal sell place because of the ABC movement and the breakout of the flag formation. Okay, so now what? Well, now we've broken to the other side. Okay, so now the market may push us back down again. All right, now we're in between zones, so it's a little tricky, but this is what you can do. We're below the low of yesterday and we've closed under it and the market is mucking around under it, so that's fine. Any buyer up here is looking trapped. If the market goes up into a swing hour and you want to sell on the swing hours down, you can cover yourself on the weekly pivot. Okay, let's take a look. That's that. Rightio. Okay, so they've swept the stops yesterday in the New York session. That's your 330, 315, 330. Yesterday you had 4 o'clock, and then after that you can see it was all hellfire. So no dramas there. The other thing is you can now just follow it through on any retracement up to sell down on swing hours, because we've got a breakdown here. Okay, and the first target is there.